See, just ask this question. At this very moment, if I am told that my life's going to end in the next half an hour, in the next 45 minutes, what are the things that I want to do? Just go into that experiential dimension and just see what are the things that you want to do. If there are few things that you wanted to do, just go ahead and do it and finish it off. And you will see in that moment the best of individuality comes out. If you know that you're going to die in half an hour, you will not be angry, you will not be frustrated, you will not feel like hurting somebody, you will not be feeling like taking revenge on somebody. These are all contemplations that happen because we have forgotten death. Humanity has so completely forgotten death that it has forgotten humanity itself. That is why we are cruel to each other. That is why we hurt each other. That is why we are the way we are, because we have forgotten that we are just brief visitors to life. Someday we have to let go of all these things and just move on. Now, if that becomes a reality within each and every individual, forget about wars, forget about death and destruction. You will not find enough time to be anything but loving and caring. If that single realization seeps in that you are a brief phenomenon, you will not be here forever. This body is not going to be here forever. What you can do this very moment is all that matters. Once that realization comes in, then both life and death will occupy equal place in your mind and body. You will move carrying life and death in both hands. So when you become too obsessed with life and start forgetting what it is, death will remind you what life is. And when you start thinking too much about death and negativity and destruction, life will remind you that there is something beautiful in life that you need to experience. Only this balance will keep an individual sane. Otherwise, we will become like the way we've become now. The whole society has become absolutely insane. Since we live in this insanity all the time, we have accepted this. Think about it. How many people wake up from their bed in the morning being terrified of the day? How many people, or rather let me put it the other way. How many people wake up in the morning so enthusiastic that they just jump out of the bed with an enthusiasm that they want to live? How many people wake up with a sense of wonder and joy about living that one day? No, they are burdened by life because they think they have so much more life to live. If they are told that they have only one more day to live, and that is the day they are waking up, that is their last day, then their whole attitude about life changes. Then where is the burden? If you were to live only for one day, how much burden can you carry? See, I think we have done a great disservice to ourselves by not talking about death, by stigmatizing death. A society that is open to discuss death and makes it an equal part of life. It should be in the books of children. Children should know about death, they should talk about it, they should understand it. And as they grow up, they start becoming complete individuals, because now they know that death is always around the corner. And in place of anger, there will be love. In place of hate, there will be compassion. In place of jealousy, there will be the best of you offering to the people around. So all we need in life is death. Really, that is all what is missing. If we can bring back death into our lives, then the balance will be restored. Then an individual will become complete. And an individual who knows both life and death is a totally different phenomenon. He doesn't get disturbed unnecessarily. And he's not worrying about building castles in the air. And he's not worried about a tomorrow that never comes. He is just a brief, beautiful phenomenon of existence. He is just a flower that blooms for one day. And that flower is the most beautiful flower. Imagine if there was a garden and if there were all kinds of flowers, and all the flowers existed throughout the year and throughout their lives. And there was this one flower that blooms only once in a year. And it remains a flower for maybe a day. Imagine if that flower blooms, when you go into this garden, you will forget all other flowers and you will be searching only for this one flower that blooms so rarely. Because rarity is what gives meaning to something. If it is always there, that is why we get bored of people who are always there with us. That's one of the reasons. Because that's the nature of the mind. It starts to identify things that are unique and rare. And a flower that blooms once in a while is the most beautiful flower. And that is what life is. Life happens but once. All this continuation of life, see, there is a part of you that extends beyond this life, but you cannot carry this body. You cannot carry this personality. There was only one you, and it has happened only once. It can never happen twice. The phenomenon called you can never happen twice. And look at the joy. Imagine, if you can never happen again, how much you should celebrate your life. Instead of worrying about, I have too many pimples, I am too tall, I am too short, you will not have time to think about all these negativities. You will be constantly thinking about how much more I can live, how much more I can give, how much more I can share. Because everything about me is unique. And this uniqueness is what is defining me. All my imperfections are adornments for myself. They are not negative. They are my personality. That individual who lives with this understanding that he is brief, he is mortal, and someday he is going to die, that individual's life will be a complete life. A life filled with immense joy and immense happiness.